Yo, what's up, everybody? You watching Nick Driver Podcast on air with Nick Driver, man. Yo, I'm gonna tell you guys something, man. I got my best friend with me tonight, man. My man, Paul Clark. He's got a new record coming out. Hey, Paul, when's your record coming out?
May 24th. It's called Our Heart EP.
It's gonna be so good, too, man.
Thanks.
It's gonna be so good. But you know what, Paul? That record sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But tonight, we're talking about Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Okay.
Now, Paul. Bigfoot is called a lot of things over different ranges of people, right?
Right.
Bigfoot, Sasquatch. What's some other things they're called?
In the Himalayas, they call them the Yeti. In Australia, they call them Yahweh. The Yahweh.
Now, in Marvel Comics, there's a gigantic white Bigfoot called Wendigo.
Yeah, they call them Wendigo too. Yeah, that's from the Native Americans. One of the Native American groups would call them that. So, like Sasquatch, a lot of the Native American tribes and indigenous peoples in Canada and the U.S. have documentation and stories about Bigfoot, but they had obviously different names because there's different tribes spread out all throughout North America. And Wendigo was one of them. Sasquatch was one of them. Big hairy man. There's a bunch of them. Yeah.
Now, my question is this. You know, I've always been on the side of if somebody says they see something or they whatever, I believe them. And I'm going to tell you why. I wasn't there. So who am I to look at somebody and go, yo, that didn't happen? How do you feel like when we're talking about this particular topic? How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, especially with people who have a lot of strong credentials like policemen, forest rangers, doctors, scientists, people who've witnessed what they think is a Bigfoot. I mean, hunters who know what a bear looks like. You know what I mean? I can understand someone who doesn't understand animals, isn't seeing animals all the time, seeing a black bear, thinking standing on his 2 feet, walking around or something. But it's a deeper level than that now. I mean, you got people with good credentials who know what animals look like. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of eyewitnesses like that.
Let's let the listeners know, or anybody tuning in this podcast beforehand. I'll go ahead and say this. My stance on Bigfoot is this. I don't want you to change your stance. I want you to tell them what you feel. My stance is this. Do I think Bigfoot might possibly exist? Yeah, because there's a lot of things that exist in the world that people don't see. And people always say, well, you didn't have a camera. You didn't film him. And I also want to say this to those people. A lot of those people that have that argument are not people rolling around. A lot of people that are in the woods, camping and doing these things, they're not part of the culture that's in America right now that's always doing this. So if you run up on something that's crazy looking, you're not going to be doing this and turn your camera around. If something that's 7-8 foot tall attacking you, the last thing I'm going to think about is like, yo, stand still so I can get a picture of you, right?
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense or not?
Yeah, that makes sense. And they don't go around just attacking people. You know what I mean? They're kind of hidden. They don't want anything to do with this, really, I don't think.
So I'm questionable on Bigfoot, but you feel like Bigfoot really exists?
I think it's possible. I don't know if it exists or not. I think it's a possibility. That's all.
I think we have to look at the world at open mind.
Right.
It could possibly exist, right?
Exactly. Possibly could.
I love you, Paul, man. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Let's get into let's talk a little bit about the Patterson Gimlin film. And this is actually a film from 1967 in Northern California. Hey, let's check it out. You ready, Paul?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, Paul. So give me your breakdown on this Patterson Gimlin Bigfoot footage. What's your opinion on it? You being more of a Bigfoot aficionado
Right.
than I am, but I do want to tell you, Paul. I think Bigfoot probably exists, man.
Right. Right.
But I'm gonna tell you this. Let's keep it 100. What do you think about that footage?
I mean, either it's a guy in a suit or it's a Bigfoot. And that's the big debate that's going on for the last 40, 50 years, right? So at first, some guy came out and said, hey, that was me in a costume. And everybody said, oh, then it's a hoax. And but then over time, they come to find out that guy who showed the costume doesn't look anything like the one he was wearing. Scientists and people nowadays will look back at all the data and said, hey, we couldn't even make a costume this good back in the late 60s. Look at Planet of the Apes. They were horrible costumes. And now they've analyzed that film. They've isolated the frames for that where he's walking, and you can see muscle rippling through the costume.
Yo, how do you fake that?
Right. How do you fake that? So, I mean,
And I also want to argue for your side on this, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring this video back up. We're gonna watch it again, okay? I want to tell you something. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Now watch him close up. Pause. Okay. Now, when I was watching this, I'm like, yo, if I stand up, you hear me, Paul? You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm 6'1", 201 pounds. If I stand up, right, and I turn sideways, my hands do not go beneath my kneecaps.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you something. This thing is walking, and I there's a couple things that I would like to get into that bothers me about this video, but I will say this. I guess I could argue my own situation here, but let's go one thing at a time. Nobody's hands normally goes past their like upper thighs or lower thighs, right?
Right. Yeah.
Look at this thing. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And if you zoom in on it, you'll see that it has boobs.
Look at this.
This is a female Sasquatch. Who's going to make if you're going to make a costume, would you make a female Sasquatch with boobs? That'd be even harder.
Look at this. Now, I guess there's a probability that you could extend the arms through gloves and stuff. You know, I'm so torn about this.
Right.
What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, they can barely fit people into costumes nowadays that look that good. I don't know how they would do it in 1968. And also it has boobs on it. If you're going to make a costume, would you make boobs? Bigfoot.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that if anybody that's a Bigfoot aficionado sees this, it's actually 1967.
67.
Not 68.
Right. Well, 67. Yeah. I mean, and they've studied the way it walks. Scientists have brought people in and studied the way it walks to see if humans can walk that way. Humans don't normally walk that way. It would be very difficult for someone to walk the way it's walking. Also, if you really want to follow somebody on this, follow Dr. Jeff Meldrum. He's a professor at Idaho State University, and he studies anthropology and foot locomotion. That's all through evolutionary times. And he says, it could be true. He's been on a lot of these. He's analyzed this film as well. Dr. Jeff Meldrum, check him out. I kind of follow what he says.
So So let me ask you a question. Me and you are best friends, right?
Right.
And you know that we agree on some things and sometimes we don't agree on, right?
Sure.
And the first thing I want to say is I think that's a pretty legit video, right?
Either that or the biggest hoax of all time.
I'm looking at it and me knowing what I know about cameras, why is the camera set up perfectly right there? And the Sasquatch walks right perfectly in the middle of the screen. Is that a fair question?
You're looking at an edited version of it. If you look at the original, the camera's jumping all over the place. And what they've done is did I pull up a video that is edited from like, yeah, the video, there's an older original video.
So it wasn't focused on the actual Sasquatch.
It was, but he was jumping off his horse, scrambling around, trying to get the camera on him. He was jobbling it around, and he got like so many seconds of it. But to really see it, they had to let the experts take that and isolate it, and that's what you're watching now. So it doesn't look all jumbled and moving around. There's another original of it where it's moving all around.
Yo, that's what's up. It looks real, man.
Don't it?
Yo, hey, you know, everybody gets on me about stuff, but you know, I mean, it looks legit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, that's just a guy in a suit. But then when you really dig into it and look at it, you know, it kind of makes you think, makes you wonder.
Okay. Well, before we get off our podcast tonight, I got one more Bigfoot sighting for you, man. All right, Paul, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, so of course I'm joking around right there, but what I do want to say is this. I feel like there's a lot of animals that marine biologists are still figuring out new animals every day, every couple weeks. Is it that far-fetched that there's a gorilla that is an upright gorilla that doesn't want humans to talk to him or mess with him, that's hiding in the deep woods? That's not that far-fetched, right?
I don't think so. I mean, there's plane crashes out there in northwestern America that have never been found. Well, think about that. It's a big area, especially up in Canada. A plane will crash. If the GPS is broke, they can never find it, ever. So why would a little 7-foot ape, which is minuscule in the grand scheme of things, when you look at that area,
it's fair,
be found? And bears can live there. They eat and forage and live there.
Hey, you know what? What if like Bigfoot versus a bear? I mean, a bear is thicker than him. He's gonna be like, yo, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I think Bigfoot's learned how to handle bears. And I think they kind of avoid each other, probably. I don't know.
You know what? That's another podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? We're going to wrap this podcast up, but I want to tell you guys something. That's my man, Paul Clark. He has a new album coming out. Paul, tell him when.
May 24th, All Heart EP. You can pre-save it on Spotify. Check out my Facebook. Posted there.
Hey, Paul, very proud of you, man.
Thank
you,
you
know what? Hey, you know what? Me and Paul, we are Bigfoot aficionados. And I ain't going to lie to you, man. I was kind of like on the fence. I was like, yo, Bigfoot. Yeah, Paul actually brought a lot of information to me, and I'm like, makes sense.
It's a lot of fun, man. The kids love it. You know, you take them camping. We go hunting for Bigfoot. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, it's all fun until Bigfoot rolls up on your ass.
That's right.
Hey, you guys have a blessed night. You watching Nick Driver Podcast on there with Nick Driver. Hey, you guys like, subscribe, comment. Hey, you guys check out Paul Clark's new album. Paul with a period at the end. Paul, bam, all heart. Hey, this man is dropping knowledge. He's going to be dropping knowledge on y'all. Y'all be safe. Take care. You watching Nick Driver Podcast on there with Nick Driver. Skate. Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you.